Starbucks, in fact, opened 6 locations in Israel in 2001. They closed all 6 in 2003. I've heard people offer a few different reasons for this. Who knows, maybe Israelis don't like pumpkin spice lattes. Then again, does anybody? When someone I'm traveling with in Israel asks to stop at one of the McDonald's dotting the country, I find some mom-and-pop falafel or shawarma place. When they ask if there's a Starbucks, I find the big black cup. You ask, why did Starbucks fold after 2 years? I say, how did they last that long? Italian roast, Turkish coffee, bitter Greek brew. The coffee culture in Israel is as different as it is superior. In Israel, coffee drinking is social. Israelis aren't so much paper cup on the go types. They tend to sit, plant themselves over actual ceramic mugs, and spend time talking to one another. I love that. And it's exactly what I found myself doing on a cool spring day in Jerusalem. I was sitting across a patio table from an Israeli bus driver at the Mount Scopus Cafe Aroma. Michelle was inside chatting with the tour guide, so he and I were alone. He had a mug. I had a paper cup. His an espresso. Mine an Americano. I still can't decide whether that was poetic or cliché. I commented on the amount of security around the place. We'd had to come through metal detectors on the way in. He pointed to the Hebrew University across the street. You never know, eh? True, you never know. But in that part of the world, you never take another breath for granted. On July 31, 2002, Hamas terrorists detonated a bomb in the Hebrew University cafeteria, killing 9 people. 5 of them were American, and wounding another 100. My bus driver friend seemed lost in thought, or memories, or both. I asked him what it was like living with the constant threat of terror. I couldn't imagine. He studied me for a long second or two. These are evil people. There is no one in Israel who has not been touched by terrorism. Everyone knows someone, or knows someone who has been killed or injured. He looked down at his cup. I had the feeling he wanted to say more. I sipped my Americano and waited. Some issues are too personal to press. This was definitely one. And after all, who was I to ask? At length he said, You heard about the cafe moment bombing? I don't think so. I felt bad saying so. Lines creased his forehead. He didn't speak for a long time, and I began to suspect the line of conversation might be over. Something in his face shifted. His eyes narrowed a fraction as he gazed out across the street. I had the feeling he summoned something down deep. In a moment, he transformed from bus driver to tough ex-IDF. The metamorphosis happened right in front of me. A physical act of the man's will. A very horrible thing. My best friend and his girlfriend were there. They were killed that night, he said. I'm sorry, I said. I can't imagine. And I couldn't. Only a couple days later, as soon as they cleared the bodies and wreckage away, they set up plywood tables and began serving again. They did this to show that we are a strong people. We won't be bullied. The terrorists are cowards. Let me ask you, where is the honor in killing innocents? My friends. They never hurt anyone. These people blow up cafes, but that's not enough, so they blow up our buses and our trains. He pointed across the street. They blow up our universities. They aren't killing armed combatants. They target children and housewives. What kind of people do that? What kind of evil does that? I felt small, horribly humbled. This wasn't walking through a historical site listening to a guide and taking cell phone pictures. It wasn't some disconnected third-page headline from the other side of the world. This was right here, right now. Human loss and pain on a grand scale, and this quiet man chose to share it with me. The world shrank. Sitting across the table from him, sharing coffee, I felt his problems were my problems now. His pain, my pain. I was right there in it, part of it. What, in your opinion, can be done? I said, struggling to keep my voice sounding neutral. He shrugged. We build a wall to protect ourselves, but the world demands we take it down, saying we are oppressing the Palestinians, occupying. How can we be occupied?